It's October 4th, 2022, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel, and that's a 10-4, good buddy. Because it's October 4th, 10-4. Hurricane Ian pounded Florida last week, and Governor Ron DeSantis warned would-be looters that Florida is a Second Amendment state, and apparently not a Sixth Commandment state. Interestingly, DeSantis was quicker to warn looters that they'll be shot than he was to warn Florida residents that they should evacuate. As long as people are dying, DeSantis is happy. Except for the unborn. Due to the wake and flooding, Hurricane Ian unearthed bodies from their graves at local cemeteries. Said Democrats, "Great, let's nominate one of them for president." Speaking of which, President Joe Biden says he's committed to Puerto Rico and its recovery efforts from Hurricane Fiona. We dispute that because at no point did he throw paper towels at people like President Donald Trump did during a similar visit to Puerto Rico. That's what we call acting presidential, if you have brain damage. An NBC reporter in Florida went viral after she reported with her microphone covered in a condom to protect it from the rain during Hurricane Ian. Sources say the microphone filed for workers' comp after experiencing diminished sensation and confinement during the broadcast. It was difficult, but we resisted the urge to send Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard into harm's way to cover Hurricane Ian. We were kind enough to send him to the beach anyway.
Now this is what I call a NewsBrake assignment. I'm going in the water. That water is cold. Well, I really can't blame that on Brian. Or can I?
And that's how I personally solved climate change. Please send me money. A jail warden and his brother were accused of shooting 2 migrants in Texas last week. Said Nancy Pelosi, "Great, now who will pick our crops?" The Supreme Court said Monday it will hear 2 cases seeking to hold social media companies financially responsible for terrorist attacks. Maybe they just don't like that social media is where everyone has been blasting them for their recent terrible, horrible, no good, very bad decisions. The U.S. Army missed this year's recruitment goal by 25%. Army leaders plan to make that up by sending more recruiters to public schools so they can recruit school shooters. Cool. The federal government sold off a lighthouse in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay for over $100,000. The conditions of the sale dictate that the new owners must maintain it as a Coast Guard navigational aid, observe historic preservation standards, and watch out for the fog. In gratuitous plug news, Damn it, wait for me to do the plug first. The Sketchworks comedy Grease parody, Vape The Musical, triumphantly returns to the stage. This actual very stage. Beginning this very Friday at the Village Theater in Atlanta. The Village Theater in Atlanta. Tickets are available at sketchworkscomedy.com. Come and support the show Grease doesn't want you to see. Vape the Musical, October 7, 8, 14, 15, 21, and, Babs?
22.
At the Village Theater. Come Saturday of opening weekend, this Saturday, for Maria's Cotton Candy and Bill's Popcorn. And if you're interested in performing in a future Sketchworks comedy production, sign up for our Intro to Sketch Comedy Acting class with Sana Erica. She plays Sandy starting next week. Classes begin October 19th, also right here at the Village Theater in Atlanta. This has been your Sketchworks comedy gratuity. Whatevs. A report from the Commerce Department showed that in August, inflation ended up being hotter than expected. So inflation is basically the opposite of your Tinder date. A 1-ton pumpkin weighing in at over 2,500 pounds has earned these 3 men a U.S. record and all the basic bitches. A U.S. Senate report shows scams and fraud are becoming common on the mobile payment app Zelle. To learn how not to be a victim of these scams, simply send $200 to our Zelle account. Username, you are getting scammed so much and it's not even funny. After banning pro-Israel speakers, UC Berkeley is being criticized for essentially creating Jewish-free zones. Although, if they really wanted to keep Jews away, start by not calling it a free zone. We can make that joke because tonight is Yom Kippur, so no Jews are watching. Playful anti-Semitism aside, UC said that they chose their Jew-free policy by asking themselves one simple question. What would Hitler do? A recent study in the scientific journal Oriental Insects. I'm not actually sure you can call insects oriental these days. Anyway, they've discovered an AI laser that kills roaches from 4 feet away. Scientists emphasize the laser obliterates every living thing within a 5-mile radius, but the roaches will burn in hell. Win-win. Speaking of robots, according to AP News, an early prototype of Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot slowly and awkwardly walked onto a stage, turned, and waved to a cheering crowd at the company's artificial intelligence event on Friday. I don't know if that's the aforementioned robot or some other soulless creature. Once these tech bros reach a certain point, it's hard to tell a difference. Yeesh. This past Friday, the Firefly aerospace rocket launch was aborted due to an unexpected engine shutdown. Plus, Zoe and Wash were bickering. A big catch of fish fossils in southern China includes the oldest teeth ever found. That's great, said Grandma. Model Bella Hadid appeared topless at Paris's Fashion Week before having her dress spray painted on. I used to have my hair spray painted on, but as you can see, I stopped doing that. A man in Portland, Washington murdered his twin brother outside of their hotel. Or did his twin brother murder him? It's always hard to tell. A Massachusetts woman is being accused of getting her ex-landlord hammered. I feel you, buddy. I had a rough Saturday as well. Oh, she hammered him to death. That's different. My apologies for the callousness of this story. Please direct your complaints to Babs. Look at him there, being all callous on his Android. Only callous people use Android phones, Babs. What? You can see Babs playing the aptly named Duty in Vape The Musical this month at this Village Theater, right here, where I am at right now. A 4-month-old ginger kitten named Thor saved his family from carbon monoxide poisoning in Michigan. Sources say the Norse god in a kitten body also has the capability of wielding his tiny hammer when he's not fed on time. All right, that's 2 hammer jokes in a row. It must be hammer time, otherwise known as the end of the show. That's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me. Can't touch this. Please direct your complaints to Babs. I can't change the settings while we're rolling.
No.
Apparently. That sucks. I can't just flip the camera around.
Should I look in the camera?
Don't spike the camera.
What?
Don't spike the camera.
Okay, I won't spike.